Hello, everyone. We're back. Sorry for the delay. The computer must be like me and still getting used to daylight savings time because I didn't sleep much today, and my computer must be overworked as well. But welcome. We appreciate everyone in here. Let's say hello to everyone. But real quick, my name's Tom.
And my name's Kimber.
And this is Odd Shape Channel, and this is one of our hangout sessions where we just talk about like recent events. We did a Q&A on Twitter. So when that segment comes up, if you have some more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But first we'll be going over the news, then we'll be doing the Q&A stuff, and then we'll be having callers.
Thank you, Dell. It's actually a shirt, and let me know in the chat if you think it makes me look like a particular beverage.
And yes, Tom, this is one of my favorite shirts. Kimber is the queen of getting shirts. Since we've started like our relationship, I've always got, oh, sorry, Cal. I've always gotten cool ass shirts from Kimber. And she does look beautiful.
Still.
So real quick, let's say hello to everyone in the chat. We got Billy, Cal, Jonathan Peck, Tom Zambino, Delisha, Joe and Ashley Davis, and Janine.
And yes,
welcome.
Cal guessed it. I think it looks like an Arizona green tea. The price is on the can.
All right, so let me get some lower thirds going on here. Hi, Ashley. Yeah, it's toolbox. Sorry, it's been a while. What are you up to?
This is what I'm up to.
Right here.
Now Billy can't stop thinking about how it looks like in Arizona.
It's making me thirsty. Cat, go get me a beverage. Good job, Mavis. She was so talkative on my stream this morning. I've been streaming Xenoverse 2 early in the mornings, and Mavis either loves it or hates it.
Do you want to maybe just pass over the lower thirds?
Yeah,
We're
lower
really
thirds.
behind.
Not working out. No fun. I can say the fun taglines. So first off, we're gonna go right into the 2018 Cat Handling Awards, Academy Awards. Academy Awards.
Yeah, Ashley did say in the chat something that I noticed as well. Apparently, it's going to start saving the chat so that people who watch on the stream in the future can see what people were saying in the chat. So actually, I think it's kind of cool because with our show, with it being so interactive and the chat being a big part of it, it's going to be neat that people can still see what everyone was saying if they weren't able to show up to the live show.
That's my favorite aspect of like we were talking about before, the streams, but now we have it for all of our other content, which is really cool. I want to say a quick hello to Ultimate Spike. Thanks for stopping by in the chat. Welcome. All right. So this segment would have been called The Shape of Winners. I just want to start off by saying we're going to be probably watching The Shape of Water tomorrow. Thanks to Randall. He's going to help us watch that.
Yeah, I've been dying to see it since I saw the first trailer for that movie, but unfortunately right now the movie theater's insanely far and money's really tight with this move and wedding planning and everything, so we're hoping once we get to Texas and we get established that we're going to be able to keep up with the movies a little better this year, so. But continue.
All right, so speaking of The Shape of Water, we'll start there. Shape of Water took home 4 awards. Best Picture, Best Director, Production Design, and Best Score. I was waiting for you to weigh in, but then I realized we haven't seen the movie. I was waiting for you to say
them all. Yeah, I'm sure that it's all awesome. Just like the
concept,
of this movie, for him to watch a movie when he's younger, obviously being the creature of the Black Lagoon, and to romanticize it in his mind enough to write this romance story with this monster. Like, just the idea of it, I think, is really beautiful, especially as someone who loves horror themselves like I do, and romanticizes horror like I do. That's why I love Vincent Price. There's always like
you specifically love like Gotham horror, or Gotham, sorry, Gothic horror, like the Gothic romance.
Yes.
Weren't you saying even that Crimson Peaks was kind of?
I like Crimson Peak. It gets like a little weird with the twist, but I did like Crimson Peak.
All right, next one, Blade Runner 2049. We did see this one. It got 2 awards for cinematography and visual effects. Well earned. I mean, that was pretty much the highlight of the movie. We wouldn't have given best score. Like, a big part of it, it didn't feel like Blade Runner without jazz. Like, that was one of our biggest criticisms.
You said best score?
Yeah, I would not have given
No, Phantom Thread, easily.
Well, yeah, that didn't win either, but we'll get there. In fact, I'll just jump ahead. Phantom Thread, which one of our favorite movies this year, right?
Yeah.
I guess no, because Get Out was the year before. So it was really good. But that won Best Costuming, which is cool because everyone knows how method Daniel Day-Lewis is. Daniel Day-Lewis had to learn how to make dresses for this movie. Or didn't have to. But.
No, he took it upon himself to make an entire dress from scratch to like get in the mindset of this dressmaker. I loved Phantom Thread. I think that movie was beautiful. I loved the ending. I loved the beginning and everything in between. I know that not everyone is enthusiastic about it, but I thought it was really beautiful.
All right, next we got Coco, which we haven't gotten to see yet, but we've only heard good things. It got an award for animated feature and for its song "Remember Me." We have 3 billboards that have a long name, and I forgot to write down the rest of it.
In Ebbing,
Louisiana.
Missouri?
Missouri, yeah.
I'm not sure.
Billy, is it Missouri? He's from St. Louis, so.
Tom Zambino agrees about the Phantom Thread score. Beautiful.
How do you feel about that certain egg dish I was made? It was important to the plot, Billy. After that, we have, okay, I'm sorry, 3 billboards got.
Yeah, it is Missouri.
Best Actress, Frances McDormand, who had a really powerful speech. If you haven't got a chance to watch it, you should. And Best Supporting Actor, a big fan of the channel, or the channel's big fans of this person. I want to summon Dub. So Sam Rockwell got Best Supporting Actor, so that's awesome.
Yeah, we haven't seen that movie yet either, of course. No. On the list of movies we still got to catch up on.
Supporting Actress went to Allison Janney for I, Tonya. Another one we haven't seen.
We have not seen I, Tonya.
Here's another one we haven't seen, Darkest Hour, which Gary Oldman took home Best Actor. And they also took home Best Makeup and Hairstyling. And, I mean, he looks like Winston Churchill.
Yeah, sure.
Last year's winner was Suicide Squad. So, that sets the bar. Dunkirk got a lot of, like, production awards. They had Best Sound Editing, Sound Mixing, Film Editing. We didn't see that one either. See, here's the thing. Next year, when Black Panther is like eligible for all of these categories, we'll know exactly what we're talking about. Call Me by Your Name got Best Adapted Screenplay, and we're also big fans here of Jordan Peele, of Key and Peele, and
Get Out.
Get Out is the movie. I was trying to think if I can remember him from any other projects. I was just watching him on the Kroll Show too. Yeah, he won Best Original Screenplay. First Black actor to win Original Screenplay.
Well, yeah.
Right? No,
well,
plus
screenwriting, yeah.
Sorry, because he's an actor and a writer and a director. It's so hard to kind of keep up with them. But yeah.
Oh, Keanu was the other thing they did.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was like, there's a cat. We also have some other ones I've never heard of, but that doesn't mean that they are any less deserving. The Silent Child got Best Live Action Short. I heard about this one. Dear Basketball got Best Animated Short, so I think Kobe Bryant is attached to that. A Heaven is a Traffic Jam on the 405 got Best Documentary Short. Icarus got Best Documentary Feature, and A Fantastic Woman got Best Foreign Speaking Film. Which, didn't you say you heard something
I think
about
that one had a trans woman in it, and then she was also a presenter, I believe. She might have been the first trans presenter or something.
Okay.
But yeah, that's awesome.
All right. Well, this next category, if I had the lower third, it would say Black Panther Doesn't Freeze. It's been like a month now.
Yes, 4 weeks at number 1.
So we decided to go through. Went and checked all of the records that Black Panther has. Kimber, of course, was there too. Went and broke because it made more than $1 billion. See, I can't even say it. Made more than $1 billion.
And I don't know.
She's been saying it the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know if I said it on air at any point, but before this movie came out, I said I hope this movie makes $1 billion. And I'm so proud to say that it did, and deservingly so, because Black Panther is fantastic, and I'm glad that it's been embraced so fully by people, and that, like, Janine, I think, has gone to see this movie like 5 times or something, and I think that's awesome that this is, like, a historical movie, and tell them, just go ahead with the list, it's crazy.
It's right here. And it's in red, so you know I'm serious. All right, so yeah, broke $1 billion. It's number 1 February debut of all time. It is the highest rated Rotten Tomatoes superhero movie at 98%, beating Incredibles that was at 97%. As the most pre-sales for a superhero movie. It has the most Fandango. Oh, the one before that, the most pre-sales was Batman vs Superman. The most Fandango pre-sales for all of the first quarter of like the years. So like it beat out like what was I saying? Like not Halt and Catch Fire. What's the young adult tribute?
Hunger Games?
Yeah, Hunger Games. Like so it beat out like Hunger Games and all that stuff. Had the most IMAX pre-sales for a superhero movie. Had the biggest opening for an African American director. The record before this was at 98 million, and that was for The Fate of the Furious, and they were raking in a debut at 201.7 million. Sorry, I'm reading the chat now. I saw Killmonger and I got excited. It beat out Force Awakens for the highest grossing Monday. It's the highest grossing pre-summer Tuesday ever. This is where I can stop reading my handwriting. It is the best MCU debut for a Wednesday and Thursday. Before that, or no, Spider-Man 2 has it currently, but they're not MCU, they're Marvel. It's the highest grossing MCU week 1 and 2nd weekend. So the full week into the 2nd weekend is the highest grossing Marvel's ever achieved. Newest highest grossing solo movie of all time.
Superhero. You didn't get that word fully out. Keep going.
It's just super solo. And yeah. So before I go into the next topic, which is more Marvel, we're just going to talk more about Marvel. Kevin Feige said something really cool. He said the future of the Marvel Cinematic University is... oh my God.
University.
I'm reading it too fast. He said the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is diversity and representation. So if we get half of what we got in Black Panther, we're going in the right direction.
Yeah, and I mean, it should be. Like, it's awesome to hear somebody who's so powerful, obviously, in the film industry to say something like this, but it absolutely should be. And Black Panther proves that people want diversity a lot. Like, people really appreciated that they can see something different, because really, like, a lot of these movies are so the same, and it's because the lack of diversity. So yeah, so much. And like, we really need to have more of it to represent how Earth is and how there are different people of different types, and everybody should fucking be represented the way that they are in real life. It makes it feel more real when you see different types of people. It's not the same, like,
with real ties to real culture. Like, all the, like we were saying before, if Black Panther does not get costume design next year at the Oscars,
oh yeah,
like,
no,
someone,
all rage.
yeah, we'll hire someone to take care of it.
But yeah, it's not just like, the world isn't a bunch of like pretty fit white people, and the movie should reflect that. Absolutely.
Should get out of here. I'm kidding. I'm not fit. All right. So currently, Jessica Jones season 2 is going on Netflix. It's there forever. I don't know why I'm saying it like it's a special event, but it did just premiere. We're episode 4.
No, we're farther. We're like, we just finished episode 7.
Wherever we are, it just got good.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I think we're aiming for next Monday to do a recap binge to discuss. This way, that should give enough time, because I remember that was a complaint of Black Mirror. We jumped on it real too quick, and people hadn't got a chance to watch it all yet. So we're trying to give everybody a chance to watch Jessica Jones, and we'll talk about it, and that should be fun.
Yeah,
we'll keep you updated.
You guys know I love her. I have a lot to say about Jessica Jones, and that continues with this season as well. So I'm really looking forward to talking about that show. I think she's really important. It's nice to be a chick who's a little rough around the edges and see a woman on TV who's like her.
Person.
Yeah, it's important that they have female characters with flaws, and I think that's what makes her so interesting and so wonderful.
You're saying Valkyrie wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Jessica Jones?
I do think that Jessica Jones opened the door for characters like how Valkyrie was portrayed in Ragnarok, and I think that that's a really great thing, because like, this is what a lot of the chicks I know, and even myself at a younger time in my life, kind of were like. I can relate to it a lot.
Like, I think people just kind of glance over Valkyrie, but it's interesting because, like, you think about war movies and everything like that. PTSD is a very real, like, idea. Like, oh, I understand that there's mines going off everywhere around you, but we never thought about, like, okay, the Battle of the Five Armies in The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Do any of those soldiers have PTSD after that?
Yeah.
Like, can PTSD exist in like a fantasy setting, which it's like a hyper fantasy for Valkyrie, but still, like, you see her flashbacks with all the beautiful. She's
bitter. She's drunk. She's like Lieutenant Dan or something. Like, it's great. I love it.
I want to see Forrest Gump and Thor Ragnarok, like
Forrest Gump.
We'll do it.
Boom.
How about this? Send us your Forrest Gump Thor mashup memes at Odd Shape Panel on Twitter. You won't do it. I dare you.
Yeah, and if you want to hear more about Ragnarok, you should watch Ashley and Joe's recap they did of the Thor movies on Geek to My Nerd. We were there for that. It was really great, and they talk a lot about Ragnarok because that's an amazing movie. So check them out for sure.
They've been doing a great job. Instead of doing the chronological, starting from point A to all the way down, they're just grouping it kind of by
the trilogies.
Or the single releases, and it's a lot of fun. It's to Infinity War and beyond, and I make the thumbnails for them. I have a lot of fun with it, and I mean, it's superheroes. So right now I'm making Dragon Ball thumbnails every day, and it's like I'm a little kid again because that's what I did in like the 8th grade. All right, so we got more Marvel stuff. Infinity War. We got some concept art and some confirmation on some interesting things. Iron Spider confirmed. You told me this.
Yes.
The costume seems to have the functionality to have the legs, and we saw it like Marvel literally called it the Iron Spider costume. Like it wasn't like a reference.
Because they released like a series of posters.
Mhm.
It was like 18 of the lead characters. Obviously not everyone because they have a lot, but he listed as Iron Spider.
22, I think, in total of everybody. I could be wrong though, and they may introduce even more people. Who knows?
Of the lead characters, there were a lot of people.
It's listed as well. Okay, there's 22 heroes listed. That's not counting like the other characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Okay, there's also you got to see the anime. It looks inspired Iron Man costume. It looks like the Bleeding Edge costume, which if you're not familiar with in the comics, it's like nanobots. So think like Black Panther's costume. So who knows at what point in this movie he gets this armor?
Yeah.
Or at least it functions the way it does. Maybe he runs into Shuri before they collab. I don't know.
Interesting. Joe says they're probably clipping stuff out of the commercials like they did for Ragnarok to keep some of the surprise. That wouldn't surprise me. Probably even like altering the backgrounds and stuff.
Switching characters out. Like what if Hulk's not even in that Wakanda scene at the end and they just put him in there just to...
And speaking of that, Wakanda stuff is supposed to be a huge part of the movie. I've heard a rumor that the entire third act takes place in Wakanda. So,
which everyone thinks that's where the Soul Stone is. A lot of people were surprised that they didn't make any reference to it during Black Panther, but I'm kind of glad they didn't because they didn't want it to distract from the main.
I believe it that it's been confirmed that it wasn't in Wakanda. I think they've talked about that, but I'm glad that so much of the movie takes place in Wakanda because obviously everybody was down for that shit. So
that's smart. You already have all the sets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and now you have all these people. They knew what they were doing, and just bringing it forward. Like, for those of you who don't know, it got moved up like a week, and that was so. It's just evenly paced with the Star Wars movie. Deadpool's in there May 18th. Like,
I think there was like gives them like 3 weeks where they're probably going to be like pretty much uncontested. So I'm probably going to move on their part, and it's definitely made some of the other productions like scramble to move around their stuff.
And if Solo, oh my god, if Solo tanks, thank you. If Solo tanks, then what? I just
old dry throat over here. Drink this thing.
You say what I was saying.
I don't know.
You weren't paying attention?
Solo tanks.
Then?
I don't know where you're going with that. I'm not in your head.
Hopefully in Infinity Wars there's a buffer to make sure they don't take too much losses.
Oh, okay. For Disney.
That didn't help. All right.
I tried.
You did. Also, in those posters you're talking about, we saw Bucky's new arm.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very sleek. It kind of matches the way the patterns on T'Challa's costume are with the diagonal lines. So I'm thinking vibranium. Yeah. Also,
if Solo tanks, maybe Tom's throat wouldn't be so dry if it wasn't so full of salt.
Look, I never want anything to fail unless I really hate it. And no one hates Star Wars.
I think my favorite Star Wars meme of all time is that when they're on that planet at the end of Last Jedi, where he's like, "It's salt." I have that like meme saved on deck to use.
So, fans of the Iron Man series will remember that Tony's always had a problem with the suit going into space. The Bleeding Edge armor in the comics does have space functionality, and he even goes and tours with the Guardians of the Galaxy for a little bit. So that could be cool to see Tony in space, even if it wasn't like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. If it was just like Iron Man 4, whatever, just give me money.
Iron Man 4, Space Tony.
Space Tony. Rocket Tony. Rocket Stank. You know what that one?
Yeah.
Rocket Stank. All right, and it looks like something's written down here. Oh, Goldblum wants to do a Collector Grandmaster movie because they are brothers, and that could be interesting.
I'd love to see them together. They're two like interesting, over the top guys in these characters.
Yeah, because one of them's very subdued while the other one's very like eccentric.
But Benicio's subdued, but he's still like weird.
Oh, yeah.
So like. I think they could really like be a good team up. I don't think anybody would be uninterested in seeing that. It's just an interesting, you know, combination. I see Joe's getting pumped in the chat here.
All right. Next, we're going to talk about South by Southwest. We might be a little partial because we are moving there in less than 2 months.
Yes, less than 2 months. Woo!
Woo! And it's all your fault, Joe and Ashley. I didn't read any of the reviews because some of these movies sound interesting enough to watch, and I didn't want to learn anything about them. But I got some like in the headlines. Obviously, some of them were more favorable than others. So just to keep a lookout for Ghost Stories. Pretty good favorable review on Ready Player One. What's the one we want to see? We just started the trailer for today.
Damn it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you.
Yep.
I'm like, you didn't warn me. I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, that looks really interesting. That's got the dude who's in Atlanta and Get Out. Unfortunately, I can't remember his name right now.
He plays Andre in Get Out. He's the guy who gets kidnapped in the beginning.
I think he's Darius or something.
Darius, yeah.
On Atlanta, but he's just like a really interesting actor, and he makes really great choices. I was talking to Janine about this earlier, but I think we watched a trailer for this movie, and it looks very strange and really interesting and really funny. And we watched pretty much all the new trailers today, and this was the one that had me the most excited.
For real.
Because it's just really different, and I think that he has potential to do a lot of really cool stuff in the future because like all the choices that he's made now, it's to the point where I want to see something if I see him in it because his history is like really good picking stuff. And that also has Tessa Thompson, who is Valkyrie, who we were talking about, and she's been doing great stuff too. Ragnarok was awesome. I loved her on Westworld, and I'm hoping this follows suit. So yeah,
I'm definitely excited. Just in the chat real quick,
it's Lakeith Stanfield is his name. Sorry.
Right, and Joe was saying that in reference to the Collector and Grandmaster, he wants to see, because if you saw the end of Thor, Grandmaster gets kicked out. So if he was crashing on the Collector's couch and like using his toothbrush and stuff, and Howard the Duck is there, of course.
I like it.
Billy mentions The Quiet Place. That's also on my list of favorable mentions. Upgrade, Barry, that Bill Hader thing we want to watch.
Yeah, that looks really interesting too.
Unfriend Dark Web. Some of these are it's a mixed bag, but if any of these sound interesting, at least by title enough, because we're about to play a little game. Surprise. So I was reading all the independent movie titles at South by Southwest, and a lot of them sound fake or like poorly planned.
Okay.
So you guys can play along, but Kimber hasn't been prepped. So she has to guess whether or not the name is real or fake. And
how many questions are there?
There are 10.
Oh no.
And if you think it is real, please put a 1 in the chat. And if you think it's fake, please put a 2 in the chat. And I'll reveal the answers at the end.
Thank you, Cal.
Okay.
It's the boobs. No.
First one. You ready?
Sure.
A band called Impaled Rectum.
I'm going to go with That's So Ridiculous It Has to Be Real.
Okay.
So we're going to go over them at the end so
Yes.
people have time to make their guesses, right?
Yes. You can either keep track at home on a scrap piece of paper or put it in the chat. Number 2. Blood Feast.
Fake. That sounds like you just came up with that to throw me off.
Number 3. Leprechaun Back to the Hood. The spelled T-H-A.
I'm pretty sure they already did that, didn't they?
No, Back to the Hood. Not Leprechaun in the Hood. Leprechaun back to the hood.
We have to give them a second to catch up because now they're just lighting up 1s and 2s. Yeah, 1 is real. So Leprechaun, no. No, I hope not. I'm gonna go with I hope not.
I hope not. It's not an answer. I wrote down no.
3 is I hope not.
4 is 8th Grade.
Real.
Directed by Bo Burnham.
No way.
Fake? Fake?
I don't know. Like, I love Bo Burnham, so now I feel like he's just doing.
Does he have a movie in South by Southwest?
I don't know.
All right. Well, clock's ticking. Somebody has a clock, right?
Real. I mean, I said real, so I'm gonna go real.
Okay. Next, Typhoon Champions.
Real. I'm gonna get none of these right.
Next, My Dad's Porno Tapes.
I don't want that to be real. No, fake.
Next one.
I hope you didn't come up with that because, like.
Next one's Uncle Greg's Basement.
Fake.
The next one's called Free Folk.
Free Folk?
I wrote down.
Fake. I have to, like, think. The game is playing Tom. Like, does it sound like some bullshit that Tom would make up? That's how you really do it.
All right. How about this next one? There's 2 left. A Tuba de Cuba.
Real. I hope that one's real.
And the last one is The Unicorn.
I love unicorns. No, wait. Is this a trap?
I don't know. Ashley's a trap.
I'm gonna say real because unicorns are real.
Okay. We'll go over this real quick.
Can you tell me how many I got right?
Yeah, hold on. I'll give you a countdown. One moment.
Tallying the scores now. Did you guys keep track of your answers? I guess you'll know when he says the movies again. I don't know. I feel like he was trying to throw me off. That Bo Burnham thing is like sticking in my head now. But if that's real, I'll probably check it out because Bo Burnham is really talented.
You got 6 out of 10, right?
Woo! Yay.
Okay. Band called Impaled Rectum. Real movie.
Yes.
It's by a guy named, I'm probably saying this wrong, Juklin Vidgren. I'm guessing he's Norwegian or something like that, or Swedish.
Now I know the Bo Burnham thing is real because you were just reading the notes that you took for your... Okay, keep going. We'll see.
Okay. Blood Feast is fake, but there's a movie called Blood Fest.
Oh, that's dirty.
Leprechaun Back to the Hood with a THA is real.
Ugh.
8th Grade.
Is Warwick Davis in it?
I don't know. I didn't check. Hey, Chase. How's it going? Welcome.
I'm so sad that's real.
8th Grade with Bo Burnham. Directed by? Real.
Yes, that's awesome.
I'm sorry. Typhoon Champions is fake.
Oh, damn it.
But I was inspired by the movie called Team Hurricane.
Okay.
So My Dad's Porno Tapes is a real movie.
Okay, good. I'm glad because I didn't want you to be like going there with your fake
And
movies.
I was trying to fake you out, and Uncle Greg's Basement was my idea, but anything, he could have just had a cool record. Free Folk is fake, but there is a movie called Wildling.
So Uncle Greg's Basement is also fake?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's...
I knew Free Folk was
but
fake.
But there's a movie called Wildling.
Okay.
So I was
like, Free Folk.
A Tuba de Cuba.
Really?
Tuba de Cuba is real.
Yes. Okay, good.
And so is the Unicorn. Tuba de Cuba is with T.J. Harrington, and the Unicorn is by Robert Schwartzman.
What's the Unicorn about?
I don't know. You're going to have to check it out. And if you check it out and you want to tell us all about it and you think we should check it out, tweet at us.
And hopefully maybe we'll be able to go to some South by Southwest stuff next year. That would be cool.
So while we wind down from that, because that was exciting, do you want to pull up the Q&A questions?
Sure. And then we'll get some callers in here.
Yes.
Give me a second. This thing does not work the best.
That's okay.
Switching to Twitter for whatever reason. And this thing, if you guys write me and I take forever to respond to you on Twitter, sometimes it doesn't tell me that people wrote me. And I just notice it the next time I go to write somebody a message.
So 2 weeks, next OSP. I was thinking about, maybe you can weigh on this. Why don't we talk about New York in pop culture?
Okay.
Since we're getting out of here, we might as well, you know, maybe we'll talk about Escape from New York, Big, like a lot of
tons of shit.
Yeah, a lot of movies take like
in shows, Broad City, Sex and the City.
Yeah, not just the city. You know what I mean? Like there's other things. Dirty Dancing's supposed to take place in the Catskills.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. That's a cool idea.
So
are we gonna do a Texas one when we move to Texas?
I was thinking about both doing a New York one and a Texas one before we leave. So we'll talk about King of the Hill for an entire 3 hours.
We gotta get Ashley and Joe on the Texas one with us. Maybe when we're like at their house or something.
Maybe we gotta see how the schedule works out. Okay. So we put a Q&A out. If you see, or if you didn't get a chance to post a question for the Q&A, feel free to throw one in the chat and we'll try to write it down and remember to read it to you. All right. So first up is from our great friend Delisha. She asked, if you could have a celebrity chef make you any meal you want, who would it be and what would they make you?
Okay. We are literally the worst people to ask this question to because we're so incredibly freaking picky about what we eat. Like, we don't like onions. Tom barely eats vegetables. Like, we're very picky about what we eat. Did you have an answer in mind?
I can't think of a celebrity chef.
I would probably go Bourdain. And that's just because I feel like he would be an interesting guy to talk about. He's not like, he's like a travel host and stuff too. He's been a lot of places.
Who's the guy with the frosted tips?
Flavortown?
Flavortown.
Guy Fieri.
I want him to make me a food, and I just want to throw it away in front of him.
Swedish Chef is Chase's choice.
Oh, that's a better answer.
Best one.
Swedish Chef, and I would have him make Swedish meatballs.
Ashley is saying she would be down to do an episode at their house, so I wanted to ask you guys some questions about that, or time frame and stuff too. But I'll DM you guys after the show, and we'll try to work that out.
All right. In the Twitter, Tom Zambino was quick to say Gordon Ramsay, and he would want a rack of ribs. Yeah,
I'd probably go with something with meat too, just because if it's just like straight up meat and or sauce, like, you're pretty good. But I love my meat overcooked, which everybody complains about. So.
And TJ Dex says Action Bronson, which is a pretty good answer. He also asks, how can we make Howard the Duck an Oscar-winning remake?
This is all you.
Honestly, I think there's more important stuff to focus on winning the Oscars than Howard the Duck. Maybe if there was a CG category, which I've been saying for years they should have, because Andy Serkis
would be a multiple award winner.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, TJ.
We're just talking about you.
He comes in when we're talking about Howard the Duck. Couldn't be any more.
Yeah, it's his question. I don't think you're gonna do it. Yeah. I wouldn't want Howard the Duck to beat out Get Out for like best screenplay. A, I don't think it's gonna happen, and B, it's distracting.
Everyone's talking about delicious food, trying to make me hungry in the chat.
She's gonna make us go get nuggets after this.
Ashley, it's talking about how delicious cheeses are.
You're gonna make us get nuggets. No.
Yeah, I like nuggets.
Okay.
Monday night is nugget night.
Oscar movies you haven't seen but would like to already. Shape of Water, hopefully tomorrow.
All of them, all the ones, all the aforementioned movies that we talked about how we haven't seen. I really want to see most of them. So all those, and we'll probably tweet at least when we watch them and try to talk to you guys about them because we've missed so much and we're sorry. Life is just a little hectic at the moment. We are gonna hope to get better with that.
Yeah, once we move, we hope that we're refreshed. Our area is like just a ghost town that's like slowly rotting around us. But they put a new casino up the road. I don't know. What upcoming film do you think is going to be the most disappointing? Solo.
Yeah, probably.
Like I just want a Lando movie. I don't even like. It's so distracting how much he doesn't look like Han Solo, and I don't like. The fact of the matter is, you shouldn't be doing it if you can't find someone who looks just like Han Solo. Like because Donald Glover is nailing it. Like even if like he's not spot on, you could still buy that he's a younger version. It feels
like Lando. He's picking up like
he's got that swag,
the essence of Lando.
I don't know anything else. Well, Tom Zambito said Pacific Rim 2. I'm not going to get into it now. I think it's one of the dumbest premises for a movie ever. I understand it's robots versus monsters, so like, what am I criticizing? See,
he says I forgot about Solo. It'll be hard to disappoint my low expectations, and that's where I'm at with Pacific Rim. I just don't care about Pacific Rim, unfortunately. They like your shirt again.
Thank you, Chase. Sorry, Crow's face is all scrunched up. Eric Monroe wants to know if we're going to see Ready Player One. If we have money at the time, yeah. I'm hearing that it's a fun ride. Like no one's looking for it to be like earth shattering, but I heard it's a good movie to kick your feet back and watch. I didn't hear anyone say that they had to turn the brain off for it either, which is one of my I think it's one of the dumbest things you have to say to like excuse a movie. All right, Ryan from the Ohio Review says, what film would you have given the 10th spot? What film would you have taken from the list of nominees?
I would need that in front of me, unfortunately.
Well, Chris says add Logan, Wind River, and Hostiles, and take out Phantom Thread in the Post. I don't agree with you on Phantom Thread. I kind of agree with you on the Post just because I don't care. Jonathan Peck, who may still be in the chat, he asks, we have seen recently that some well-known comedy directors like Russo Brothers, Adam McKay, Peyton Reed, Todd McPhillips, John Francis DeLay, and Jonathan Goldstein to do dramas or comic book films. What well-known comedy director should tackle these type of movies? I mean, I would like to see a real stab at an Edgar Wright comic book movie. We kind of got robbed. I don't know if I stole your answer.
No, I mean, I was still thinking about it. I mean, I know it's crazy to just keep talking about him, but Jordan Peele's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I was thinking it too. I was just giving him a break for a minute.
Like he's proven that he can do lots of different things, and maybe he would be an interesting choice to do something. I know they've been talking about like whether or not Blade will happen again, like a reboot, and Wesley Snipes doesn't want them to do it again, and they don't want to do it without Wesley Snipes' blessing and stuff, but it could be cool. And I saw a lot of people pitching like John Boyega for that, and I really don't hate it.
I was hearing rumors too that because in the comics Blade's daughter takes over the mantle for a little bit, so they're going to go like into the MCU with Wesley Snipes being just Blade as the dad and then having the daughter. But I don't know. I think they were talking about like the MCU comic book movies. That's more like a graphic novel, like, you know.
Did you have comments on that Shazam costume?
It's fine. It looks. I think Bill said it perfectly, and if it wasn't Bill, I apologize. But Billy said it's red and cheesy, just like Shazam.
And I think people are tearing it apart a little too soon, because if you see a lot of pictures of what the comic book movies costumes looked like before they did any post-production and any CGI to like fix it up a little bit, a lot of them don't look nearly as good as they came out in the end. So I think you need to give it like a fair chance that it might not look exactly like it's being presented at this moment when it hits the screen.
Yeah. My biggest takeaway from it is that it's bright, which It's all I want from a DC movie.
It looks just like the character.
Yeah,
like it looks like a badass cosplayer. And like I don't say that as a negative thing, because I think sometimes these cosplayers do a way better job. So that's
Way
probably
better job.
a high compliment from me to say that this looks like a good cosplayer.
I mean, I can't think of any cosplayer who can top Halle Berry's Catwoman costume. It was like belts. She was wearing belts. There's 3 of them.
You haven't seen Blade?
It invented bullet time, and no one gives it credit. They're like, Matrix this, Matrix that. It was Blade. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. Did anyone else have any last minute questions for the Q&A?
Janine was asking what female-led movie we're looking forward to, and
female-led movie. I have to think for a second. I don't really care about Red Sparrow.
Yeah.
I want to see that Battle Angel, but like I'm not expecting it to be great, and I don't know how much it will do for women.
I kind of want to. I mean, Annihilation is out already.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it yet. I'm really interested in that one, and I've heard good things, and that it's got like a Lovecraftian vibe to it and stuff. So.
And a very populated woman cast, right?
Yeah, like several women. So I think that's awesome.
A team of Ripleys.
Yeah, I dig it. You also didn't talk about that other trailer you liked today, which was that Christopher Robin trailer.
Yeah, I was surprised because I was like, all right, Ewan McGregor's having problems. It's Victorian England, not Victorian, but like it's old England, like the 30s, I'm guessing. And I heard Winnie the Pooh's voice when, like, if you grew up in the 90s, like you heard Winnie the Pooh's voice all the time. And it was just like Christopher Robin, and I was like, oh, he's old, because I thought it was like young Christopher Robin. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. It's like if Ted gave a shit.
Yeah. Tom Zambino saying that Annihilation's great and that every sci-fi fan should go see it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it has some fantasy vibes to it too.
There's another movie coming out that me as a fangirl is very excited about. Do you know what that movie is called? It stars David Tennant and Robert Sheehan, who fans of Misfits.
Hold on, I have it. It's bad. What's like Bad Samaritan?
Yes, Bad Samaritan. And it stars David Tennant and Robert Sheehan, who Misfits fans will recognize as Nathan, aka the best character. And I'm mostly interested in it because of these casting choices. But I'll definitely be checking that one out. Like, it's Nathan at, like, what seems like peak Nathan. He's even saying some of, like, his... Yeah, and he's saying, like, some of his phrases, like, oh, you beauty. Like, it's straight Nathan.
I just think that's how Irish people talk.
But it's just, like, to hear him saying, the words that he's so repeatedly said, I'm really excited about that.
He was the fucked up part of the Misfits, you know what I mean? Like, the minute they pulled him out, it just kind of fell apart. And I'm excited to see his performance, and he's acting across from David Tennant, who's, like, one of the most extreme actors. We're super excited for Good Omens.
Yes, that too.
Stopped production on that, right?
They just finished, yeah. Billy's excited about it, and Cal isn't that Ewan Rion? No, Ewan Rion played Simon. Billy is correct, but he is in that show. And as for best Misfits character, it's definitely Nathan. Simon has arguably the best story arc as a character.
He has the most growth.
But Nathan's the heart of the show. It wasn't the same when they lost him, so.
It's like taking Foggy out of Daredevil, like.
Yeah. But even to a bigger extent, because I mean Nathan and Simon were almost a comedy team.
Yeah,
together.
like the Odd Couple.
Yes. Melon fucker.
Save me, Barry.
That show's amazing. I think you should get a caller in.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Tom, are you around? You are first up.
We do have the patrons up first, as always now.
Oh, my landlord's in here.
What?
I think I just need to send an email to all these people, and then I'll have them, because my landlord, I can send an invite to.
See if they'll come through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doing it. I'm doing it. Tom, I'm gonna need to. Oh yeah, that's what it was. 3, right?
I think so.
In the words of Dave Grohl, I'll stick around until bedtime.
And Dell's coming to visit us soon in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing her. She's always a delight. Get it?
No.
Because she's Dell. She's delightful.
I'm missing it.
Terrible. That was a comedic trust fall. You fail.
Oh, I thought it was like a trap, like a tiger pit, where like the sticks are like gonna get you. Hey, how's it going, Tom?
Greetings, sir.
How are you?
Not too bad. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Anything in our news discussion, or did we miss anything you wanted to discuss?
Man, I have to think, because that was a long news. That apparently a lot of news happening. I do have comments on the Oscar stuff for once, because as I was loudly stating, I actually saw all the Best Picture winners before the show, and it was
Nice.
actually down to the Sunday morning when I saw the last one. I ended up seeing the 7 that I didn't see in the 9 days up to the show. So that was tiring, to be honest. There was a lot of driving to movies, a lot of walking to theaters. I had to go to like 3 different theaters to get through, but glad I did. And man, just I don't know whether they planned having The Darkest Hour and Dunkirk in the same year.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was coordinated or not, but I think having seen Dunkirk raised up Darkest Hour and vice versa. I liked Dunkirk more after seeing Darkest Hour.
they should have done like a cinematic universe, the World War II cinematic universe, where all World War II movies are connected.
Except Pearl Harbor's not canon.
Oh man, I had something, but you made a funny joke. Oh,
Damn.
yeah, I honestly, I knew Kimber was gonna love Phantom Thread, and I honestly was like, I think this movie is gonna get the most like it felt like the most Oscar movie from the trailer and everything like that. Man, I'm dying. So I was surprised when it only won one award, but it was for costume design, and I think that would make House Woodcock very proud.
I wasn't that surprised. I mean, I obviously wasn't surprised that they won Best Costuming. They deserve that. But because of how, I think I've said this a few times, how divisive it was.
Yeah.
That's why it didn't win Best Picture. Gary Oldman's tour de force kept Daniel Day-Lewis from winning another Oscar. Let's see, what else? I mean, I do think it got robbed for score.
I agree. Like that's on our wedding playlist.
Like I get the whole playful Guillermo del Toro thing, but I don't think the Shape of Water score vibed as well with the film as Phantom Thread did. Phantom Thread, the score was a character in the film.
Yeah.
There's a lot of silence in that movie, like a lot of not like areas without dialogue. So the score is really important in a movie like that.
Yeah, they build the tensity up with silence and with
music.
with the
and
piano.
It's the other dude from Radiohead that's not Tom York, right?
Yeah, it's the other dude. It's not Tom York. It's Dave Grohl.
No, it's not Dave.
Dave Grohl's everyone, babe. Don't you know? Conspiracy.
I'd watch a movie with a Dave Grohl score.
Eric said happy birthday to Billy, which forces me to say it now. Happy birthday, Billy. I was gonna do a big thing when he came on.
Well,
Eric Monroe ruined it. Let's make it a thing now.
I'm saving it for tomorrow because it's not quite his birthday yet.
Touche.
well, I'm gonna apologize because usually, Billy, you know I would send you a card, but with us moving and stuff, like all my stuff is packed up. I'm not equipped to do that, so I feel like a terrible friend. Sorry, Billy. Happy birthday.
You got the most metal gift of all, Billy. Nothing. Yeah, so you're talking about the score?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was pretty much finished. I feel the same way about the score of Shape of Water that I do about the movie. I appreciate it more than I liked it. I appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have to tell you tomorrow how I feel about it, but I have a feeling I'm going to love that movie. So,
and that's fair. I understand why a lot of people like it. It's just, that's not for me. I understand a lot of people. The Darkest Hour wasn't for them, but I loved it. That's why That's the kind of areas where personal preference really takes it. I think enough people loved Shape of Water, and enough people were like me and didn't really hate it but appreciated it. That's kind of how it ended up winning Best Picture, to be honest. There were a lot of divisive films this year.
yeah, I mean, like, I think that it's a delightful surprise that a movie like this could be not only nominated so many times, but win so many awards just because it is such like a bizarre premise in itself. But I think that it looks beautiful, and I've heard that it is beautiful, and it's truly like a unique take on the genre. So I'm really excited to see it, and I'm excited just that something like this could win so many awards in such a huge award show. You know,
weird stuff like this.
yeah, more weird stuff is what I'm definitely looking forward to, and that's why I'm psyched about that weird movie coming.
Successful. Ragnarok was weird. People loved it.
Yeah.
Black Panther gave us new like weird.
It gave us something different. Everyone's just burnt out on seeing the same crap all the time, and it's really refreshing to have stuff like this coming out.
And I know it's hypocritical because we keep repeating ourselves, so we're gonna stop.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that Guillermo del Toro looked like a really excited child when he received that award, and that was pretty nice to see.
This is a project he's wanted to make forever, so it's great that he's doing so well with it. And I believe I heard it confirmed that he's finally going to be able to work on Mountains of Madness next, which is another project he's been trying to get off the ground for a really long time. So I'm looking forward to see what he does with that as well. Again, just another Lovecraft and stuff I'm very interested in. So it's cool to see a director like this tackling a project like that. I think he's the right director for that project.
I'm not really sure what that is, but more passion. If he's passionate about it, that sounds interesting then.
Absolutely. Like, that's what makes amazing movies. Like, Lord of the Rings trilogy wouldn't be as amazing as it was if you didn't have a director working on it who gave a shit so much. And people would argue that maybe he didn't give a shit as much with the Hobbit movies, and they suffered for that. But no one can argue that the Lord of the Rings trilogy isn't like damn near perfect, you know? And that's how you get perfect movies, is getting directors who give a shit about the source material in a circumstance like that.
Well, The Hobbit wasn't just not giving a shit. That was also a rush job. Being in the auto industry, I know the bad things that happen with rush jobs.
Yeah.
CG orcs.
You also get a sweet-ass talking Benedict Cumberbatch dragon. That movie those three movies have shit to appreciate in them.
Yeah, but he didn't have to be in the second movie at all.
The second movie is the one with all of him in it.
Or, I'm sorry, the third movie.
Yeah, he was barely in the third movie. But also, like, Martin Freeman's brilliant casting choice for Bilbo. There's stuff to appreciate in those movies, too, you know? But, yeah, any other news you wanted to go over real quick?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I had something for a while, but I think I forgot. And I have been seeing. I don't know if we've talked about this particular trailer, but I see it every time I've been binging John Oliver on HBO. But every once in a while, I see a trailer for Fahrenheit 451,
Yeah.
and that was one of my favorite books that I was forced to read in school. That was one of them that I actually really loved and couldn't put down. So I'm really excited to see that. It kind of I don't know how I feel about it being just an HBO movie instead of a theatrical release, but I get it. And with all the talent they have involved, I'm on board here.
Michael B. Jordan's in that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The cast is really good, and sometimes like these HBO and Netflix and stuff really knock it out of the park with their movies. So I wouldn't judge it by that too much until we see what they do. But yeah, good cast, good story. So Joe in the chat here said, when it comes to Mountains of Madness, you have to think The Thing, but instead of a crashed alien craft, they find an ancient alien city full of danger.
Oh man, that doesn't help me at all. I haven't seen The Thing.
Oh my god, you gotta watch The Thing.
What?
The Thing, okay. John Carpenter's The Thing is in like my top 10 favorite movies of all time. You absolutely have to watch The Thing. It stars Wilford Brimley and Kurt Russell's beard. So you'll enjoy that. It's really good. And it's like sci-fi horror. If you're a fan of Alien and stuff like that at all, this is kind of in the same vein, but you get like a kind of like body horror vibe as well.
It's been on the watch list.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's not Muppets, but definitely really cool. Like some of the best practical effects of all time.
Yeah. Cronenberg's involved, right?
Oh,
He says wrong thing.
I'm trying to remember something. There was some car-related movie news. Oh yes, the writer of Logan will be penning a Ferrari versus Ford movie. So for those who don't know, it's one of the most interesting stories of all time. It's one of those things that I think could be another Rush, where it's about something more than just the racing. It was basically a story of the rivalry between what was it? Bill Ford Jr. and Enzo Ferrari. So it's a legendary story. It's a really interesting story, and it's got a crazy Italian man in it. So look out for that. I think it's going to be really good.
Are you going to do like an episode about that on your show?
If it does come to fruition, absolutely.
Cool, yeah, because it seems up your alley for sure.
All right, well, we'll probably get the next person in. But Tom, did you want to plug your stuff before I cut you loose?
Yeah. I don't have any new things to plug. Lower Thirds are back, so enjoy that. Go to Zed Reviews. We just did an episode several weeks ago on James Bond. It was our glorious return with microphones. So go ahead and go watch that. That was real fun, and we'll start again whenever I stop getting slammed at work and actually start scheduling these things.
All right, fair enough. Well, thank you so much, Tom, for stopping by and supporting the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. See you guys.
Later.
And you can find Zed Reviews down in our featured content. It should be on the right-hand side of the page.
Yeah, we've done some episodes with him of Cars and Popcorn. I did a Muppets movie one talking about the Studebaker, and also we did a Supernatural episode together with him. And speaking of, we forgot to mention that there's a really cool crossover coming up.
Yeah.
And they've been posting trailers and stuff now. They've been talking about this for a long time because I'm sure it took quite a while to arrange and make. Yeah. But
it takes a while to animate.
A Scooby-Doo Supernatural crossover coming out, and it looks like so much fun. You've got Dean flirting with Daphne, who diehard fans of the show will remember that he has mentioned a couple times that
Yeah,
he's got a thing for Daphne. So it's just really fun to see them all animated in Scooby-Doo style, and it's truly like a perfectly natural fit these two franchises put together. And it's funny because it's almost like the cars next to each other with the Mystery Machine and with Baby and stuff. Like, it couldn't be any more perfect than it looks, and I wish Raul was here to talk about it.
I'm shipping Sam and Velma, to be honest. I hope he brings Velma back into the real world and they have a relationship.
I've always been a Velma girl myself. She's sexier to me. I feel like...
what's under that sweater?
What is under that sweater?
Oops.
I wasn't going to say sweater puppies, but hashtag sweater
Boob
puppies.
hats.
Yeah, but I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I think it comes out the end of the month or something.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. Who's next?
Joe and Ashley. I'm waiting to hear back from them. If we don't hear back from them, we'll see. Is Janine planning on calling in? If not, then we have the birthday boy
nice.
after that.
Maeve, you're not being nice.
She's not being nice?
She's not being nice.
Now everyone knows you're not being nice. The whole internet. And people pay attention to cats on the internet.
Linda Cardellini was a hot Velma. Agreed.
Yeah. Hey.
There's a lot of really beautiful cosplayers, too, who play Velma. I'm a fan of that. And my friend Kaylee, who I've posted before in her Batwoman costume, she is a really great Daphne cosplayer.
Oh, yeah.
So, shout out to my girl Kaylee.
What's her cosplay name again?
Verone. She's Verone cosplay, Veron. You can check her out.
Hello, Bendy Wendy. Welcome. How are you? We were asked earlier if we liked sauce. Is there a particular sauce you like?
I wish the Sauce Boss was here.
Sauce, our friend Kayla. Oh, I have to text her that number. Our friend Kayla is the Sauce Boss.
Yeah, I love sauce of all kinds.
Okay.
Eric Monroe says he was thinking about being Shaggy for Halloween. I actually think that would suit you really well.
I used to work at this pizzeria. A guy made his ranch dressing from scratch. I wish I had like a
recipe,
like that,
or like just a dispenser.
Yeah, just like I don't even care where the pipe comes from. I just want it. I also am a big fan of the Baja sauce from Taco Bell, which is now the southern
spicy ranch.
The spicy ranch.
My favorite sauce is probably Chick-fil-A sauce, but I can't get that in New York. So Chick-fil-A sauce is kind of like barbecue, honey mustard, and ranch put together. It sounds terrible, but when you balance it right, delicious. Hot sauce, Cal says. Honey mustard for Eric Monroe.
She likes Shaggy and she likes ginger sauce. I'm assuming.
I don't know what the ginger's for.
Well, I mean, Eric Monroe is a ginger.
Oh, he's Shaggy and ginger, is what she's saying.
And a fan of Arby's sauce.
Arby's sauce is good. We don't have Arby's around here either.
We have, okay, in our town, we have a Taco Bell, a McDonald's, a Pizza Hut, a Subway.
And that's it.
A Burger King. We had a Wendy's, but they took it.
You have to drive 20 miles to get to the KFC.
They took our Wendy's.
I'm pretty sure those drivers have to drive even further than 20 miles, considering the shortage.
Well, we don't have the shortage here. That's over. Those are UK problems. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares? That's harsh. When I heard all that was happening with the KFC shortage over there, I was immediately messaging Morgan about that. He's like, I don't go to KFC, so it doesn't affect me, but people are going crazy.
They're calling the cops.
Yeah, he said that it just, when anything that goes out of the norm, people tend to get over the top about it. So.
All right.
We do too.
So Cal wants me to update everyone with some recent news. But first, there's this new meme where there's this guy sitting at a table, and it's pretty much like, it says, change my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, wrestling is redneck anime, change my mind. Cal, your factoid that Kid Rock is being introduced into the WWE Hall of Fame. who's amongst some other company,
Yeah.
doesn't help the redneck anime thing.
Billy says that Joe is rocking Guillermo del Toro hair. So
You mean uncombed and unkempt?
Yeah, that's
It
what we
works
mean.
for him. It just makes me look homeless.
I'm gonna say you're fashionable because
Look at these matching shirts.
I know. Look at this.
Oh yeah, we're
Wow,
both
Matt.
wearing red.
I don't look like
That was
any
unintentional.
time Spice too. So, did you have any thoughts on any of the news we went over, or did we miss anything?
What about those lovely Ready Player One or not trailers,
Posters.
but all those posters that they've released from the marketing team, where it's like a parody of like every reference ever.
I think if anything hurts that movie, it's going to be its marketing.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like a scandal with the first poster because of the really long leg?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, yeah. Not that it's a scandal, but everybody on the internet was like,
Well,
"Who
a large number.
Who edited this?" Yeah, because his leg's 8 feet long
And has no hip.
Real quick, hello to Halo in the chat. Thanks for coming by.
Someone on the marketing team needs to get like fired or something because it's just really distracting.
Yeah, it feels like it's getting
Totally.
like oversaturated. Like I would have rather like have seen all of the Easter eggs during the movie, especially if it's a movie about an Easter egg, as opposed to like let's see every single character in the trailers. Like,
Well, it's not just that too. Like some of them didn't make any sense at all. Like Bullet, they had a poster that was like a copy of Bullet, and I'm like,
Are they using the Bullet car in the movie? I don't know.
It's not just that. It's just like that's like a really deep cut for a movie like this. That's more about like pop culture as opposed like not just pop culture, but the pop culture that literally almost everyone would recognize and notice.
I'll tell you what.
Go ahead.
If they don't figure out a way to like make Ready Player One into a real life MMO where you can actually like play as these avatars, you already got the license under Ready Player One. You may as well do it. They're completely missing out because
I was gonna say Bullet's a weird choice for their age range of their target audience.
Yeah, exactly.
well, there's
like because all the rest of them are like 80s movies.
Well, they've delved into the 90s and early 2000s too to hit the younger generation.
Bullet's so far back.
Yeah, like most people in high school right now, which is part of the target audience. Because I know like a lot of kids that are currently reading the Ready Player One book. Yeah, Bullet's not going to be something that they would know anything about. So it's just very curious because it looks like a lot of the posters are. It was a rush job to like make them fit like these nostalgic looks like Labyrinth and Lost Boys and the Iron Giant. Like some of them are of better quality than others, but if you're gonna do something like that, like I like the second poster better, where it was just like a general homage to those kind of things and not like here's a Matrix and we've photoshopped Parzival's head on Neo.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel exactly about that movie, but I do wonder if some of the problem with not being really excited about it is how they've marketed the movie. It's nice to hear that it's getting such great reviews because that surprises me. And then on the other side of that, A Wrinkle in Time, which the trailer does really excite me a lot, has been getting kind of mixed reviews. So you can't really judge it too much by the marketing.
Yeah, I'm more excited to see the Iron Giant than the movie, to be honest.
It's really funny that whatchamacallit. Oh, did we just go blank? 1 second. Got it. It's really funny that A Wrinkle in Time has been getting. I know it tends to be slightly more negative, but it's like incredibly even reviews because they'll be like, "Oh, it's beautiful and the acting is fantastic and the characters are great, but the plot is super muddled and I have no clue what happened." Is basically the gist of all of the reviews I've seen.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet, so we don't know.
Yeah, people are mostly saying that it's a little disjointed, but it's also clearly for children. So, and I'm glad that they went that direction and did aim it, towards children, because sometimes they do kind of take stuff that's for children and not make it as enjoyable for children because they're aiming for getting the adult audience too. And I'm completely fine with this being a children's movie that's beautiful and enjoyable,
Jonathan Peck in the chat says, never underestimate a Steven Spielberg movie. And I would agree with you before the 2000s. Like BFG, I don't care about. I know he had some other movies too, but like it's mostly like war bridge spies things.
Yeah.
So I don't. He's jumping back into like the summer blockbuster, not the.
Well, and
historically
it's one of the
accurate.
situations that every good director can have movies that just don't hit nearly as hard of a mark as some of their other work. Like, I liked the movie a lot, but Baby Driver is not nearly as good as The Cornettos.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
thought-
one of my biggest disappointments of all time.
yeah. I thought Baby Driver was an okay movie. I didn't think it was a good Edgar Wright movie.
Yeah. It didn't feel Edgar Wright, and that's
Not at
kind of
all.
why I go see Edgar Wright movies. It's for Edgar Wright. But I have gaming news personally that I don't think anyone else is going to care about, but it matters to me.
Okay.
So I'm going to share it. We for those that play Pathfinder, you have to brace for an upcoming edition war because they announced a 2.0 like on Thursday or Wednesday or something. And like literally it is Civil War'd the Pathfinder gaming community at the very least, and everyone else is sitting back with their buckets full of popcorn. So it's just fun.
Yeah, this system's never had an edition update, so people didn't know that was a thing, I guess.
This game, Pathfinder, was born out of D&D abandoning one of their older editions to move to another edition at another company because of legal stuff involving how third edition worked. Another company basically took the mechanics. They're like, we'll make our own game with blackjack and hookers and forget all the rest of that shit in the game. But they made this, and it's 10 years old. And
that's
like,
pretty long for an edition cycle.
Like consoles, I think most tabletop games would kill for a 10-year cycle. So,
yeah, that's exciting.
So people are afraid of change. Change is scary.
Very. So
Nice.
That's my news.
Ashley, any news on your front? Anything new you teaching these kids?
We're on spring break right now, so we just finished To Kill a Mockingbird. We showed the
Spring
trial
break.
scene.
There's snow outside.
If not in Texas.
We went
So
from,
all
we
year
went
it's
from like
spring?
80 degrees. We went from like 80 degrees to 60 in like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
It is
no,
spring.
I feel so bad for you guys.
We also live in
I blame Cal. Cal
the
keeps
swamp.
wishing.
We also live in the swamp crack of society down here because we are literally coastal adjacent, and Houston is a swamp. So
is Florida. They'll have to compete for swamp crack.
yeah.
Oh, that makes me think of our
Swamp
Lyft driver who
crack.
was from Tallahassee or something.
Weird.
So weird.
So,
Yeah. Also, I wanted to mention again that Ashley's going to be on our next episode that will be coming out of TV Three-Way. We are working on editing that, so that should be up shortly.
Nice.
So
Fun times.
And if you didn't know, on our Geek to My Nerd account, our Twitter account, Geek to My Nerd with underscores between everything, we are taking votes on what the next Marvel movie we'll go over is, because we're through all the trilogies now. And we're going to wait to do Avengers and Guardians until right before Infinity War comes out. But the next 3 are singles, and you can go vote for them.
Kimber's going to tell you to vote for Doctor
Vote for
Strange.
Doctor Strange, you ungrateful bastards.
I told her.
I
told her I wanted to vote for Spider-Man, and she said I'd leave you. So I voted for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Spider-Man's currently winning, but there's still like 20 hours left in the poll,
19-ish,
so
yeah.
anything can happen.
I did swing
And
the
that poll
vote
will
for a
probably
little while.
The poll will probably determine the marching order.
You are from Florida.
Of the next 3 reviews because it's just easier that way, and whichever wins will be on Sunday, probably at 8 Eastern. So
nice.
That would make it easier because there's only one movie to watch, so we wouldn't have to. Oh no, delay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to do that on time.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Well, have a great night.
We'll see you guys soon.
Y'all too.
And thank you. Yeah, for real. We're excited.
And we'll have to talk about the Texas episode possibly. That
Oh,
would be
yeah.
fun.
We got to do a Texas episode with you guys.
I'm down for 3 hours of King of the Hill.
Yeah, see? He's down. 3 hours King of the Hill. We're just going to talk about Bobby.
We'll talk about what?
I'll tell you what. Propane and propane accessories.
I don't know you.
And all the Boomhauer.
Mm-hmm.
So many Boomhauers. And Dales.
Randy Shackelford. All right.
Rusty.
Rusty.
Shackelford.
All right, guys. Y'all have a nice evening.
Have a good night.
Later.
Okay. So up next we have Billy. Billa. Oh. Go ahead and call in. Because I know you can. Billy?
Billy. It's catchy.
It is Kelly. Catchy. Kelly. Who's Kelly?
Kelly Clarkson.
Kelly Clarkson! Oh, there's a new voice on tonight.
Yeah, I've been watching The Voice, so
This
tweet
is
me
The
if you care.
Voice.
If you care about The Voice, you can tweet me at Timberbatch_OSP.
Why don't you have a voice show
I should.
where you're like, this is where I tell you who I don't like and who I do like. Oh, you could do Stardust for The Voice, and then once you're done watching it, you can just go bop.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if anybody in the group watches, but
Well, I wanted to do a Stardust for the Odd Shape channel account.
I think Janine should go on The Voice. She's so talented.
I'm gonna go on Sullivan County Idol.
Is that in the next $2?
No,
Then no, you're not.
it's tomorrow. And
Really coming in? Or
and
do
we
you guys
have
send an invite?
regionals. I guess I have to send an invite. He's gonna punk me, and then the moment I send the invite, it's gonna show up. Send an invite to Jason Mewes.
He might show up.
Janine says, "Thanks, love."
No, thank you, Janine, for gracing us with your lovely voice. I'm Janine's #1 fan, if you guys don't know.
Oh, I know. Janine, she's always talking about you.
I love Janine. Do you guys know that I love Janine?
I do too.
Happy birthday!
Right? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any birthday plans?
No, just, well, tomorrow I got to work, which sucks, but you know, that's life. And then I'm going to Five Guys, and then
Yeah.
bunch of Blu-rays coming out tomorrow. Bunch of stuff happening tomorrow, like pop culture wise.
Well, what's releasing tomorrow? Why don't you give us the update since we didn't get a chance? I know Shape of Water is coming out tomorrow.
Shape of Water, Disaster Artist, Justice League. I'm trying to remember what else, but there's a lot. And that Fantastic Beasts 2 trailer's coming out. It couldn't have been like an official Shazam photo or Aquaman for me. Come on, guys. I mean,
Maybe. Sometimes they surprise you.
I hope so.
So, I haven't seen Shape of Water yet, but being that they come out in the same day on DVD, who's the superior Aquaman? Jason Momoa or the fish dude?
Well, they're both good for different reasons. Let's just say that.
It would be the perfect team.
Maybe.
He could talk to him. He could be like, boop, 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 boop.
That would be an interesting movie to watch.
Well, it's
One-
interesting
Definitely.
if you watch Young Justice, there's a character called Lagoon who very much looks like Abe Sapien.
Yeah. I remember that guy.
What else do you want to talk about?
I'm surprised you guys didn't mention this. What with all the Marvel stuff, it's Overlords, the Disney trailers. You already talked about Christopher Robin a little bit. It looks nice. It looks like Paddington 3, which I really like the Paddington films, so that's pretty awesome.
What I think is neat about it is that if you've ever seen the actual bear that Winnie the Pooh is based on, it very much looks like that bear. And that voice, that's like having the original Megatron playing, the original Optimus Prime playing Optimus Prime in the transfer. Like, it just like you hear that and you're like pulled back like to your childhood. So I really like that. I think, was there any other Disney trailers that came out?
The Mary Poppins
Yes.
one?
Oh, yes, there was. And yeah, funny you mentioned Megatron, because it is the original Megatron.
Well,
But,
no, Megatron is Red Skull.
No, not Hugo Weaving. I mean, like in the animated Transformers, the good Transformers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm both confused.
They're all talking about their favorite characters from Winnie the Pooh in the chat now. But when I think of Winnie the Pooh, I just think of Morgan, because Morgan is the most Eeyore person I've ever met.
And I love Eeyore as well. I have a picture of when I think I was 2, and I was in an Eeyore costume. My brother was Pooh, and I gotta find it somewhere, but I do have it. So Eeyore is the man. But
I'm a tiny girl myself.
You guys forgot about The Incredibles 2.
Oh yeah, that too.
Totally forgot about that. I might stir the pot a little bit, but I don't know if that's a phrase, but I didn't really like it. It seems like it's 2 different movies for me. One is Elastigirl, the movie, which is great, and I'm all for that. You know, I'm glad that apparently the focus is going to be on Elastigirl. That's pretty awesome. But then there's My Two Dads with Jack Jack. That's the other movie. And I just hope that Brad Bird can balance it, because I know he's a talented filmmaker, and all except one of his movies are near perfect. And that last one, Tomorrowland, it wasn't his fault. That was just the writing.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about this movie. Like, the first Incredibles movie is one of my favorites. I think that it's really brilliant and makes some interesting, statements with the whole plot line of it. And they did wait a really long time to do this one. So I'm wondering if that's because they were waiting for it to be right before they got into it. So I have high hopes for this. Again, it's really hard to say from the trailer because it can feel more disjointed than it actually is, because they're trying to give you so much information in such a short amount of time. So I do have high hopes that it'll be good. I'd be bummed if it wasn't, and I think a lot of people would be. So I'm hoping.
Yeah, like I have high hopes for the movie. I just didn't like the trailer. To be clear on that. And the other one that I thought was a much better trailer was Wreck-It Ralph 2, Ralph Breaks the Internet. And I'm also mentioning this because the little girl looks just like Moana.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, it's crazy when you see them side by side. I'm like, oh my god. I've been watching Buffy a lot recently, and I just kept thinking. I put this on my Stardust reaction. I said Anya Jenkins would definitely love this trailer because of the bunny.
Yeah,
bunnies. Bunnies, it must be bunnies.
Yeah, I think that part of the trailer was the best part of the trailer. I didn't think it didn't get me like too excited. No. I don't feel like we need a second Wreck-It Ralph movie as much as we want like an Incredibles one, when it comes to us, at least in particular. So I'm more excited about Incredibles personally over the Wreck-It Ralph one, but it is a funny trailer. It has a cute bit in it and stuff. It's memorable.
I'll tell you a trailer that I saw and I was like, this is garbage. I didn't think anyone could possibly do worse than the adaptation that they did when I was a kid. And I'm talking about Lost in Space. If you've seen the new trailer, I don't know why the big bulky robot from the original Serial series is now like this sleek, like Sentinel from like the future, Days of Future Past,
and the voice and everything.
He's supposed to be like Danger Will Robinson, but like, I don't know. He's not. I didn't know.
That Lost in Space trailer is, I don't know what to think of it. It just looks weird and nothing like Lost in Space.
Yeah, they're lost on the
planet.
planet.
Robbie the Robot. That's a piece of metal. I mean, granted, Robbie the Robot is a piece of metal as well, but he was awesome and he looked silly. Lost in Space is extremely ridiculous. This is just the Riverdale hard gritty reboot. I don't like it. I thought the Lost in Space movie captured the tone more, and that movie's terrible.
It is. At least Robbie looked like a real Yeah.
You're missing the camp is what the issue is. You need to keep the campiness of something like that.
Chase in the chat also says the Grinch trailer. I don't know. Like, I'm all for Benedict Cumberbatch doing roles, but I don't like the Grinch like already being in Whoville doing things. Like, for me, he doesn't step foot into Whoville until he does the dastardly deed.
Yeah, I have feelings about this too. I love the idea of his Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the Grinch, but I hate everything that they've shown us so far for this movie.
He should be narrating like Boris Karloff. Boris Karloff.
Like, you know, I've talked about how I see Benedict Cumberbatch as like a potential future like Karloff or Vincent Price. Like, I'd love to see him as like a horror figure. I think he'd be really great for that. So him like stepping up and taking the spot of Karloff like is a natural fit for me. But fuck, like, I hate every bit that they've shown us of this. I don't like the way the animation looks. I don't like the like corny ass like trailers are killing me.
The fact that Pharrell Happy, so like, I get that he doesn't like the song either, but like the fact that I have to listen
it's
to it.
It's just corny. It feels like their target audience is like 4-year-olds. Yeah, like it fails for me. It's a bummer.
That's exactly what it's targeted towards. Illumination has only been targeting children. And you know what? If children like it, that's good. I don't care. I'm not going to see it.
Like, children love Moana, but that Moana movie is worth your fucking time to watch as an adult. You can appreciate it even more than a child can. And you can be proud of it, like, when you're a kid, to grow up with that movie. I'm sure when they're our age, they're going to be like, man, I'm so glad I had this fucking movie when I was a kid. It's so important.
I'm so proud to say that we had Batman the Animated Series growing
exactly.
up. You know what I mean?
But like, this Grinch movie just looks like a throwaway garbage movie.
I would also like to point out that despite its subject matter, Zootopia also, I think it'll hold up as well.
For sure.
I personally like Zootopia more than Moana, but I loved both of them. And I think that they're both, well, that's the thing about Disney. They've cracked the code on what's great for kids and adults. Like, adults, you can appreciate like the animation or some of the character development. Kids, you can appreciate like the songs or just the characters themselves.
Yeah, the same with the first Incredibles movie. Sometimes they just go above and beyond, and this one just feels like they're doing the bare minimum of what they can do to, like, they're just making a movie. They're not trying to do anything important with this. They're not trying to make it interesting enough for everyone to enjoy. They're just trying to get like parents to buy tickets for their small children. And that's a bummer. Like, that's the wrong way to go about it.
And two more things I want to cover like real fast, because I know there's a lot of people and I don't want to waste everybody's time.
It's your birthday. We'll take it out of your card expenses.
Yeah, and by the way, thank you to everybody who said happy birthday in the chat. I did see that, and I love you all. Jessica Jones season 2, I'm really liking it. I like Jessica a lot. She's also a fan of whiskey, and I'm a fan of whiskey. So, and she's also, I like her attitude. I mean, like, I wouldn't like that attitude towards me, but I love just how much she just doesn't care, but cares at the same time. Usually
she focuses that attitude on well-deserving people, or at least well-deserving in that moment. It's not like she just walks up to people on the street and is like, "Rawr."
Yeah, like, I hope you'll join us when we talk about that show. But yeah, like I've said, she's a very important figure to me, because like, to grow up as a girl and be told that you can't talk to people like that because you're female and you can't be like a tough chick and like a badass is ridiculous. And it's awesome to have a story out there, like particularly with the first season. They talked about really important issues, and people gave a shit because of the way it was handled and the character herself. She does have like a rough exterior, but you also get to see that she's a person, you know, and we all are, and there are reasons that she acts the way that she acts. So I'm a big fan of Jessica Jones. I love that show. It's probably easily my favorite of the Marvel TV shows on Netflix.
We should acknowledge how well it is for the industry too. 13 female directors.
Yes, they hired all female directors this season, a bunch of them, and that's awesome. And you should be having female directors working on material like this. So they're making good choices with that show.
So far,
Yeah.
we have,
I don't know. It's okay. I love hearing you guys talk about that, and your love of Jessica Jones has made me think about the character a lot more. And you know, I loved Kilgrave, but I did enjoy Kristen Ritter. I thought she was perfect. And also in Defenders, I thought her and Daredevil is my personal favorite. I thought their interactions were the best. They were my favorite anyway. And gotta end it with the Panther that is black, the Black Panther. This has been a very, very long time since I have been impressed with a movie like this. And I can say I've actually seen it twice. I never see anything twice. So that's saying something. Loved all the characters. My favorite's Killmonger because we finally have actually, aside from Loki, and you know, just a villain that's a good villain because he parallels the hero. He's the opposite side of the coin. And, you know, Michael B. Jordan's great. Like, I totally get where he's coming from. You really sympathize with the guy. I mean, you hate him, but you sympathize with him. And yeah, Shuri and Okoye were amazing. I love Shuri just because of how smart she is and how she develops all the technology. But yeah, I was impressed, and I wasn't the only one because in my theater, it was a full screening. There was applause afterwards, and I've only heard that in a recent example, Force Awakens, and that to me is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very easy to please when it comes to movies. I'm not shy about that at all. And I was going in with pretty high expectations. I'm glad that it's a standalone, and it should. And you don't need to see any of the other Marvel movies. And you could just go in, if this is your first Marvel movie, this will make a great first impression.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
Michael set the bar a little too high, to be honest.
Yeah, what I wanted to say about the Marvel villains in general is that the Marvel villains are at their best when they give you a character who's complex and has a motivation that you can understand. And really, they've been hitting that in the shows, in my opinion, because I think that Kingpin was excellent, definitely in my top 3. As well as Kilgrave, and he's okay. I'm gonna get there. Okay. Kilgrave, talking about Jessica Jones again, what works with me for Kilgrave is, one, you have an amazing actor playing him who's incredibly charismatic and who has a massive fan base, but 2, as a woman who has dealt with a lot of manipulative and horrible dudes in their life, this man perfectly symbolizes and is an excellent, like, his power set is an excellent metaphor for a horribly controlling and oppressive relationship. And that truly spoke to me in a way that none of these other Marvel storylines have. I think it was an important story about abuse and should be appreciated for that and for what it is. And yeah, my other one that I really liked out of the Marvel villains was you made me
Vulture.
Vulture, yes, in Homecoming, which I really thought was successful as well because you understand where this guy's coming from. And Killmonger delivered that maybe even better than any of these other characters did, to the point where the hero understood where he was coming from, and it changed what the hero does, you know, and that's awesome. It was a brilliant move on their part, and I hope that it sets the bar for where they go with the villains in the MCU, because some of them are just really throwaway characters that die because they're so throwaway. This dude died to make it important, you know, and I don't want to like spoil too much because there are still some people who haven't seen the movie, but he had to die for different reasons than they usually die in the Marvel movies.
Yeah. Especially with the situation that was going on, and he he's not something that can be tamed, and like he's going to rip his own limb off before getting help, and if he bleeds out, that's his problem. Like, that's just Killmonger. And he has Vegeta's uniform, which is awesome. They put him in the blue shirt with the chest armor. Oh man, so cool.
But yeah, Kilgrave keeps me out because he's really effective for what they're doing with that, and it's clear what they were trying to do, and you find him attractive. And then as a woman who's been down that fucking road, I'm like, no, don't find this guy attractive. You know exactly like where this goes.
Are we talking about Kilgrave then I start talking about Killmonger?
We were talking about both.
Okay.
We were talking about Marvel villains.
There's a lot of kill people.
They killed it. Oh, sometimes literally. But
there's Killian from Iron Man 3. There's Killmonger, and there's Kilgrave.
I was gonna say 2 out of those 3 are actually pretty good. Oh yeah. Also, I keep forgetting. There's so much that happened. 3 billboards. Sam Rockwell. I can tell you, he sounds exactly like people from Missouri. He nailed it. Unfortunately, I've known people like him, and yeah, I thought it was an excellent movie, but it was like listening to people from my childhood. And I know that he went to the Lake of the Ozarks, which is a place not far outside the city, and he went and talked with people in order to nail, how we sounded. And I really, really appreciated that. And yeah, unfortunately, Ebbing, Missouri is not a real place. I can confirm that it's not real. I wish it was, but yeah, this has been fun. Thank you all for the birthday wishes.
Since you love DC, they're talking about the Wonder Woman casting for Kristen Wiig. Do you think they could have done better?
I know that a lot of people are going to be skeptical. I mean, a lot of people were skeptical about Zachary Levi. They're like, oh, he's not in shape or anything. And I had a response to that. I was like, anybody can get in shape. And I know he's an amazing actor. Watch Chuck if you think that this guy can't do anything. Or Tangled. He's one of the best Disney princes ever, at least for me. I think Kristen Wiig is a good actress. I'm interested to see what she's going to do. But the key word is acting. They're not supposed to be like themselves. And I'm glad if they can break away from, what they stereotypically do. Kristen Wiig has done comedy, and she's done it really well before. I mean, again, Gal Gadot's casting, nobody thought that she could ever pull it off. But, I mean, to some people, she still doesn't. But it has seemed to have struck a chord with some people. And I don't know. I think the next 3, they're doing the right thing with just focusing on standalones, which is what they should do. The next movie, Aquaman, the man is Hawaiian, and I think it's going to be a great metaphor for mixed people, because Atlantean and human. And in the movie, they've casted his mom and dad, and one is white, one is from New Zealand, so he's brown. And, this whole feeling of acceptance, like you're not accepted in either part. I think that's a great thing, because there are some mixed people out there that they don't feel accepted in either. And I think that's, I don't know. I'm excited. I know you guys aren't as pumped. And
well, no, I think what it is what you're saying is it's great that they are representing other cultures and stuff in Aquaman.
Yeah.
And our kind of point was, this was the perfect time.
This was the opportunity to cast a person of color as Cheetah, and I think it's like kind of a failure to cast somebody like Kristen Wiig. It's a really weird choice for me. I've heard a lot of people throw out names like Michelle Rodriguez, and that would have been really awesome. Kristen Wiig just doesn't give me like the animalistic nature of a character like this that I would like to have.
But she could prove us wrong.
She's still like
would I have liked to have seen somebody like a person of color? Absolutely. I'm all for that. Again, we have a brown Aquaman. I think that's amazing. But will I be disappointed if, you know, as long as she does a good job, that's all that really matters to me. I mean, yes, I would like a person of color, and it was a good opportunity, like Sophia Boutella or something. I thought she would be great.
Good pick, yeah.
She could totally redeem herself from that other movie, but
well, even Halle Berry could do like a redemption for like Catwoman. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like there could be fun things you could do with it. It's just, it seems like a missed opportunity. If she does well and it's good, I'm all for it. But I don't know how she's gonna top Dr. Poison.
Yeah, I like her. I'm really skeptical of this choice. I don't think she's right for it. It's definitely not like where I would have gone with it. So, but like, they kind of already lost me. Like, I didn't love the first Wonder Woman movie, and a lot of people.
I know. Milano is a better Wonder Woman. Thomas said it many times.
Like, I would be more.
I'm not gonna forget. It's okay.
I would be more hurt about this casting choice disappointing me if I cared more about the movie.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of people don't.
That's cool. That's cool.
Look, I've been following these projects like crazy. And like nothing's been going wrong with Aquaman. They did a test screening. I like the description of Atlantis. I really, really need to see what it looks like before, you know. I don't know. I'm just glad they're doing standalone stuff.
Yeah, it's smart.
What I want them to do.
Universe. Yeah, they instead of working backwards. But all right, Billy.
Yeah, I gotta hang up now. But
no, it's fine. Jonathan's been waiting patiently, so
I'm sorry, Jonathan.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry, buddy.
No, you're fine. Enjoy your birthday, and we'll talk to you soon, man.
Yeah, catch me on Stardust and Twitter. Bye.
Oh yeah, no wait. What's your tag, real quick? At BBusterBill is his Twitter tag. BBusterBill.
Get Raul to talk about Supernatural Scooby-Doo with you. I think it's called Scooby Natural, that episode. You can talk to him about how that most recent episode we watched, freaking Dean was killing us with his facial expressions. He was hilarious. I love him. The most beautiful Texan, Jensen Ackles, as Joe called him.
Hi, Raul.
Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Very good, thank you. How are you?
We're doing good. What are you up to?
I'm just driving, and I wanted to call in because I think I didn't call last week. Oh, yeah, I called last week, but it was in the last moment.
Well, we were just talking about different news and stuff. Was there anything recently that you heard about coming up that you're excited about, or?
I'm still super happy that Guillermo del Toro won 2 Oscars and Coco won for Best Animated Picture. So Mexico won the whole night, and also Best Song.
Awesome. We still need to see Coco. It's on our list.
It's really good.
I heard nothing but good things.
Comparing to Moana, it's a little difficult one. They're equal for me.
What do you say?
So you can't really compare it to Moana.
Yeah, I'll try not to.
Yeah. What do you think, Kimber, of the Scooby-Doo Supernatural promo?
I was going to ask you the very same thing. I'm excited about it. I think it's cute that you have like Dean flirting with Daphne, and it's kind of like just getting me more excited about something I've already been excited about.
They said it's not the trickster.
I sent him an article about that already.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know how they're gonna explain it.
I think it's gonna have to be Jack. It's the only way I can think about it. Jack's gonna be watching Scooby-Doo and get freaked out, and they're gonna be in Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, that's the only way. But I think that another person will manipulate Jack for them to enter the TV.
Or maybe like they are trying to go into a different universe and they slip into the Scooby-Doo universe and it's real.
I was gonna say I wonder why the trickster is there. If not that, is he not like a Scooby-Doo classic red herring to throw people off about?
Red herring.
Yeah, I think that the writers are fooling us, and maybe the final scene in the Scooby-Doo crossover is gonna be the trickster showing up in front of Dean and Sam.
I would love it. I can't wait to see. Like, bring it back.
But
You
why?
teased us. Bring it back.
And also, especially bringing back the trickster after like 7 seasons, and you're not gonna use that opportunity for the Scooby-Doo crossover. It's a really missed opportunity.
Unless that's their way out or something. I don't know, because like right now it seems like they need him to fight Lucifer. Asmodeus does. I don't know. But keep in mind there can also be a what is his name? Gabriel, right? Gabrielle in the other timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that Gabrielle's messing with people.
Or
cool.
the theory that I saw on Reddit that Gabriel was pretending to be a trickster. So what if this is the original trickster pretending to be Gabriel?
Oh, that wouldn't end well for the trickster. Although they're still supposed to be like old gods, so they're supposed to be powerful. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that I want them to do. I'm like, the Wayward Sisters thing kind of felt like a step off to the side. It was a little distracting, but I'm glad it kind of feels like we're back on the.
I liked this most recent episode a lot.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah. Also, like, even though I'm gonna confess I love Supernatural, but Wayward Sisters was a little meh. But it was better than the other pilot that they tried like 5 years ago.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the Chicago one. Yeah.
Yeah, but those like 3-4 episodes around Wayward Sisters were a little like very weak, and you can notice that the production looked very cheap.
Yeah.
But also that there might be a reason they decided to put that in the show and not use that as the Wayward Sisters pilot.
No, yeah,
maybe what they have is better.
I think it would have done better if what's the blonde?
Claire?
No, the cop.
I don't know what her name is.
Oh. The Canadian one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't know the name. I only call her the Canadian one.
Anyway, because she had an episode right after Wayward Sisters. I think if we got that a little bit later as a filler episode, it wouldn't have felt like so much. But because she was in 2 episodes back to back, you're still thinking about the Wayward Sisters stuff.
Yeah.
I was just like both.
Also, I was talking to someone. I think that the Wayward Sisters would have worked better if Bobby or Ellen and Joe were still alive.
True.
And them being the boss of the Wayward Sisters.
Speaking of, though, it was nice to see Bobby, even if it was like a alternate dimension. That's always a treat to see
I was really
him.
waiting for him to call Mary an idiot.
Oh no, and also it was worse when Bobby said, I cannot go to the other universe because I'm the only hope that they got here. And I'm like, oh, you bastard.
He was gonna die.
Yeah, I know. I want to see like Ellen in this other universe with Bobby. Yeah. Like, I would love to see Ellen.
That would be cool. That's a cool idea, bringing Ellen and Joe, but in the alternate universe.
You could bring anyone back.
Especially just because, like, they gave us that one, like, again, another alternate universe episode, the Titanic one, where they were a couple, and just everybody fell in love with them as a ship, and, like, it was really, like, they're perfect for each other. So I would love to see, you know, what they could do in that alternate universe as a team, because Ellen is so strong and Bobby is so strong. Like, together they could do more, you know. I want to see her there, bring her there.
No, and also I'm really excited that the girl that I forget the character name, but she was the British girl in season 3, and she's now on Walking Dead, and they don't want her to pay more for the next season, so she's gonna go out and go to another show. So technically she could be up for grabs for being a guest star in the next season.
You're talking about Bella?
Yeah.
Yeah, she hasn't been around in a while.
And also, you can bring back Bella as a demon because she already has spent 10 years in hell. You can bring back Bella in the alternate universe. There's a lot of things they can use her for.
Yeah, I mean, like, theoretically, you could bring back anybody because Asmodeus, he shapeshifts into different people, so...
I wouldn't be surprised if Crowley comes back this season.
Crowley?
His mom is OP now.
Yeah, I want to see again what they're doing with her too. I really, really love her. I want to see her more.
She's like old magic, like.
He's talking about Rowena.
Also, I hoping they cancel Walking Dead Baby by next season for finally Jeffrey Dean Morgan to show up again to the show.
He wants to.
Okay, yeah,
especially
he's been
because we
talking
don't
about
know,
that too.
we don't know if Jensen and Jared, they haven't renewed their contracts, and their contracts they're up next season.
But Jeffrey Dean Morgan too has been talking about how he would love to do Supernatural, but they have to see what happens with Negan first. Obviously, because he's working on that show. But
baseball bat call out.
Yeah, but he was saying like that they never really got closure with, you know, their father on the show, and I fully agree with that. It would be really nice to see, because we get all this information of what happens with them and Mary, but what about John? You know,
John.
all universe John.
Also, that's another thing. Mary has been already in the show for the last 2 seasons, and she haven't asked a lot of things about John. That's the other thing. That's why also we need Jeffrey Dean Morgan at least for 1 episode.
Yeah, alternate universe John won't happen because it's canon that he died. She didn't make that deal.
Yeah, it cannot happen.
But there's only one alternate world.
That's true too. But is there any other news you wanted to talk about?
You already talked about the Kristen Wiig thing. For me, she's okay, but like you said, it would have been cool, like if there would have been like another actress, like a different one. But still, like she had a cool scene in Mother that she was really dramatic and scary. So maybe I could see why Patty Jenkins chose her. But yeah, she could do great. And also, I'm like you, Kimber. Me and you, we didn't like Wonder Woman, so I'm not excited at all for the sequel. But I still
I mean,
I have to see it.
Like, it would be nice for them to knock my socks off with it. That would be a surprise, but I just don't really see it happening with this. And it's a disappointing casting. And it's not that I don't like Kristen Wiig. I want to be clear about that, because I do like Kristen Wiig. I think that she's funny, and I think that she's talented. I've watched several movies that she's done, and I think that she's interesting. But I just don't think she's right for this, and it's a shame. And again, a missed opportunity to you know, not kind of like whitewash a character and actually get some diversity into the EU. So
I just imagine this. It will be a weird choice, but Lady Gaga is Cheetah.
At least she feels like a predator, though. You know what I mean? Like Kristen Wiig feels like it's just a very weird.
Because Lady Gaga has more expression in her face than Kristen Wiig. Like for me. Especially because Lady Gaga was great as a vampire in American Horror Story.
Yeah.
I was just saying,
frightening.
The cheetah costume that I saw looks like the attic, like in the fur coat in the American Horror Story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, is her character just wearing cheetah print that she actually have? Like, I don't understand.
I think that character's name is Hypodermic Sally.
It is. I was wondering. I was like, is it Heroin Sally? No, that's Heroin Bob from blah, blah, blah.
But yeah, I don't know.
They're gonna do something with CGI, and maybe Kristen Wiig is not the real Cheetah. They're gonna do something. They're gonna screw it up. Sorry, Billy. I know that you're hoping with the DC thing, but I think they're gonna do the Ares thing again.
Yeah. That'd be a bummer.
And what's the other thing that I wanted to say? Oh yeah. No, I'm really liking Doctor Who. I just saw the first episode of season 3, the Runaway Bride, and finally you can notice more that they gave in more budget to the show. It feels like more really cool special effects. I'm really liking David Tennant as the Doctor, and still, I will campaign to be the Mexican Doctor.
Yeah. I think you're really going to like Donna, too. She's a really interesting character, and she's one of my favorite companions ever on the show. So I hope you have fun with that. And perfect timing. We do have another Space Time Rewind coming out soon. We are just a little behind on editing because of this move.
Yeah,
but
I also had to reinstall Premiere like 3 times. I don't know what's going on with that. So
yeah, but that's coming soon.
Yeah, like I'm still a little sad about Rose. I know
that never goes away.
I really like Rose.
It never goes away. That will always hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm really liking the show so far, and maybe until I finish the whole thing, but it already made me cry, it already made me laugh, it already made me smile like every time I watch Supernatural. It maybe could crack my top 10, like when I finish it.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you think of Matt Smith too, because he's my favorite doctor personally. And the show gets really heartfelt when Matt Smith is on there. You're gonna cry for sure.
Yeah, Nolan said that he also predicted that maybe Matt Smith is gonna be my favorite. Also,
I can see that.
I learned recently that the companion for Matt Smith is Karen Gillian, so I'm excited to see.
Oh
her
yeah.
movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna love
It's-
Rory too. Rory and Amy are great. Things to look forward to.
Yeah, and also
Oh, Billy, that's harsh.
next week on Tuesday, I'm gonna see on the Paley Fest. I'm gonna see the Scooby-Doo episode early. All of the people that go into the Paley Fest, I'm gonna see the Scooby-Doo episode early 1 week.
I'm
I will not
jealous.
spoil it. I will only tell you my reaction. I will not spoil it.
Awesome.
Getting that scoop for Renton Entertainment.
That's Scooby Doo.
That's Scooby Doo.
All right, buddy.
Well, did you want to plug the morning show and all that stuff before you have to go?
Yeah, please check out the Monday show in the YouTube channel Ringtone Entertainment, and also I always do my little recaps of all of the shows that I watch, and also check out our past episodes. So have my Schmodown reactions, and that's it.
Your Schmodown reactions get me every time because I see the thumbnail. I'm like, oh, it's another Schmodown. Let me see who's fighting. And I go and I put the thumbnail. I go and I click it, and it's the motion GIF. So it's you in the car, like talking. And I'm like, oh, it's Raul. Okay.
My only Schmodown reaction is go Janine. Woo!
Oh yes, I saw that. No, Kimber, you should have seen it live. Or like, how was it? Oh, it was so cool. And I'm so excited for the future matches of Janine.
Oh yeah, us too.
I'm just excited that you and Janine have been hanging out because that's epic.
Yeah, I want Janine versus Roca. I want her to beat John Roca just for laughing. I want to laugh at his face.
You should just be there eating cereal.
Yes. Talking about 1 year anniversary of when the rivalry between me and Roca started.
I remember.
Trash talker. All right, not you, him. Have a great night, Raul. We gotta get Jonathan in here. We miss you, and thank you so much for supporting us as always.
No, you're welcome, guys. Thank you so much also for you to bring the show and everything, and also keep always doing this. I love it. Thank you, guys.
Of course, and we love you, buddy. So everybody go check out all of Raul's stuff. He's one of our patron producers, and he's been here since the beginning. And this guy's just the best, man. Definitely follow him on Twitter and check out all his work. Okay. We'll see you soon, buddy. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Raul's too nice. You try to say something like a nice closer, and he's like, nope, I'm going to one-up you and say something nice about you. And I'm like, no, I wanted to be the nice one. Okay. Welcome, Bobby. Jonathan, that link's for you. Go ahead.
And I think, is he our last caller tonight? If we're missing anybody, let us know in the chat, and we'll make sure to get you in. And if not, then we're going to close the night with Jonathan. And thank you guys for sticking around and hanging out tonight as usual. And of course, Janine, we're gonna support you like almost too much because we're just so proud of you and you're amazing.
And the next OSP is the link that? Okay, there it is. The next OSP is going to be New York based. So once I put out a tweet, please suggest your questions about New York and pop culture.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
It's our swan song for New York then.
Swan song. I just told you, Eric.
He might not have heard that yet.
Know. I know there's a lag.
Cal's been having to delete him.
How is he still in here? Boom. Anyway.
Just waiting on Jonathan. Yeah, if that's a perfect show right there, what it's like to be a girl on any sort of stream or anything. There's 8 viewers here, and one of them's talking about my titties in the chat, so that speaks volumes.
It wasn't even a reference to zombie titties.
No. Ooh, so Ashley and Joe are going to do another Secret of Mana session tonight after OSP. So if you guys are up late, go over and check that out on Geek to My Nerd. We'll probably definitely stop by, but I might need nuggets. So.
You driving?
Nope.
I wish McDonald's delivered for free. I wish everyone delivered for free. Okay, so they're making those pizza things from Black Mirror into real things, the transport pizza box things. Nuggets, just fill it with nuggets.
I like that Janine's talking about Muppets Take Manhattan, and she said it's her favorite Muppet movie, but it autocorrected to mullet.
Mullets Take Manhattan.
We need a mullet Muppet.
Do any Muppets have mullets? I feel like
someone in the Electric Mayhem should have a mullet.
All right, Eric, come through. Bring me some nuggets.
Eric should just come through anyway.
Weren't we talking? Felicia maybe come through?
I think Dell was gonna ask him if he was gonna be
Sorry,
around. So I don't know if she got in touch with him about that yet.
For those of you who don't know, I've been doing morning Let's Plays of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Those have been successful. We've had some new subscribers from there, but let's not just make this a gaming channel. Please not show off, but distribute the links to the podcast and stuff if you're into it, just so that we get things equal. Equal. Yep, and they're
there's
right.
links in the chats. Yeah.
There, you can follow them there, or they have featured content on the side if you're watching this post live. It's 11:30. I heard it's supposed to be snowing. I'm gonna check real quick. Oh no, empty couch. It is snowing. Thanks, Cal. Let me try to give you another link, Jonathan. So this week currently going on is South by Southwest, and obviously I can't promise anything, but we will be in Austin soon, and I really hope to do something involved with South by Southwest next year, even if it's just, hey, look, this is the convention center where it's at. I definitely want to, once we move, I want to do more content outside of the house. Just so I can do things. But make content at the same time. PS4, I like it. It's working out well. The only complaint we have is the controller is super sensitive, so we'll be watching something and we'll shift our weight.
I hate it. I'm so mad at it. Like, you breathe and it starts fast forwarding. It's very distracting when you're watching like Ghost Adventures at 3 a.m. I like literally get excited when the battery is dead.
Oh, that's why you were messaging me about him last night.
Yeah.
I was like, where is this coming from? I thought like your brother shared a meme or something.
That's because Zach Bagans says slaughter, but he says slaughter.
Ashley says you can get a free pass usually for South by Southwest. Cool. I was saying how it's going on right now. Next year, maybe we could be there. Who knows?
Yeah, it's
if
unfortunate.
It's free, that helps.
Because, yeah, that'd be awesome for you guys to come out too.
I didn't think about that.
my future boss out in Austin was hoping I would be there because they're going to be slammed right now because it's South by Southwest. But unfortunately, we won't be able to make it there until May. But next year for sure, if I can get time off work.
Eric says they sell a hand remote for the PS4.
Good, because I freaking hate that. Like,
where's the hand remote for the TV?
You can't even put it anywhere. This controller, because it will just, it's so sensitive. Like a dust gets on it. It's fast.
If you watch one of my Let's Plays, you'll see that like my map will just go bop, 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 and pop up, and that's because my finger is barely in the area of the controller.
What's going on with Jonathan?
I don't even know what your deal is, dude.
Don't make it men versus women. Well, Tom has never been sexually harassed in the chat. That's all I'm saying. Except for by a man.
Thank you. All right. I'm guessing that other link's not working, Jonathan. Did it not post? Try it one more time.
Night, Billy. Have a happy birthday. Eric's flirting with you now.
Yeah, that's not sexual harassment. That's just.
That's not like, hey, nice dick. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ridiculous. I don't understand how people think that's a compliment. How about, hey, Kimber, you're smart.
Hey, Kimber.
Yeah, dude.
You're smart.
See, this is why I'm marrying you.
Earth, water, fire. Ashley remembers he will go unnamed.
Yeah.
But he's a type of bird.
Nice tattoos is fine. Thank you.
Well, she likes trick-or-treating. What's up, Jonathan? No luck yet?
Yeah, the story behind my tattoos are, it's a bunch of shit that I like or I thought looked cool. There is no like real significance to most of them.
Tell me, what does bad horse mean? Means he's bad.
I feel like the people feeling like they have to have extreme significance to all of their tattoos is like a thing that was created by Miami Ink. Because before Miami Ink came on, I never had people coming in with like really long stories about what they were getting.
Did they think they were on camera?
I don't know.
Well,
it's just, especially when that show first came out.
My pet squirrel passed away.
Sob story.
20 years ago.
And it's fine. I'm not heartless. Like, I'll talk to people about it, but that is like a phenomenon that I feel like was a result of the way that Miami Ink portrays tattoo shops.
From Dr. Hammer. The hammer says penis.
I've fixed tattoos from Miami Ink.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's because like the people that you see on the show aren't typically working in the shop. So they have like a B team that doesn't do as nice of a job.
Oh, so it wasn't necessarily somebody on the show, it was just somebody from that shop.
Yeah. D tattoo or something, and fixing whoever works there normally.
Welcome to Tom Falls Asleep on the stream. Where
if we can't get it ended soon, we're gonna have to call it.
Where you'll be able to count sheep along with me, Tom, from Odd Sheep's channel. I keep thinking like, oh, well, what do we got going? And I'm like, oh, we've already.
Yeah, we've
I'm
done.
trying to think something else to talk about. I've really been enjoying playing. Oh, there's this side-scrolling horror game on the PS4 called Claire that me and Kimber may try playing. Is there any interest in that? Let me know. Kimber would be the one behind the controls that you hate so much.
And Joe, I wasn't saying that people don't get tattoos that mean something to them. I was more implying that people didn't come in and tell you the whole story about it as much.
Yeah, it was personal before, like, Miami Ink made tattoo artists into therapists.
Yes.
Which is fine. Is that coming in on my phone? Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I can't accept it.
Yeah.
Jonathan, have you checked your email? Your Gmail account? It's on the left-hand side. Can you pass me my boots?
I just like sitting here with all this dead air.
Yeah, I know. I'm doing the Mr. Rogers thing.
What are you putting on your sweater?
Well, I'm getting there. I was going to put on my boots and then put on my sweater. Well, it's been a lovely night here on Odd Shape Channel. And I just want to thank you for being our subscribers. I'll try one more time, John.
If not, we can give them a fast pass for next time, but we've been sitting here like 10 minutes, no, nothing.
And just like to go over what we've learned today. We've learned that by celebrating diversity, you can make billions of dollars. We also learned that chicks are into fish people. Get over it. I don't understand it. I don't have to. And last but not least, we learned how much I can't wait for winter to be over because I'm so sick of putting on these boots. That too. And, well, neighbors, I'm not a good Mr. Rogers. I'm like Kid Rogers. What up, kids?
My name is Kid.
Kid Rogers. I killed a bunch of people in a war, but nobody talks about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jonathan. I don't know why it gives you so many problems every time. But we can give you a skip the line thingy for next time.
Yeah, let me write it down so I don't forget.
Like, if someone else was coming in, I would have them come in before you, but the dead air is killing us.
And our hunger needs to be sated. We have a salad that's bad in the fridge.
They did not need this information.
It's not even a full meal. It's a salad, and the salad's not even good. Well, we just gotta go shopping. It's not like we're dying. It's not like it's a year ago, babe. Kid Rogers. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon. Sorry, Jonathan. Hope you have a great night and a great week. Until next time, keep an eye out at our Twitter at Outshape panel for upcoming content, including when we're deciding on definitely doing a Jessica Jones recap and everything else. No problem, John. Don't feel sorry. We're sorry you couldn't get in. But yeah, we'll see you soon. Joe and Ashley's stream will be starting in about 15-ish minutes. Again, you can either click on their icon in the chat for Geeks My Nerd, or you can see them in the featured content. And if you're up early tomorrow, I don't know how early I'm going to get up. Actually, I have the night off, but I'm usually up early. So check out. I'll be up. Have some coffee with me. Chill.
It's true. Yeah, and you can find me at Kimberbatch_OSP on Twitter and Instagram. So that's about it for me. Look out for Space Time Rewind and TV Three-Way coming out soon.
All right, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.